Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to go live here in just a couple minutes. That's a couple more minutes to go live. Just go ahead and take a listen to the music. Hello to this special Wednesday edition of CptDomano's Indie Corner. I am your host, CptDomano. And the reason why we are doing a live cast on Wednesday instead of Friday is, well, got invited to go to a concert on Friday. And kind of don't want to miss that concert. So decided to push the live stream back a couple days so that I can get everything in order here. But don't think that this is going to happen all the time. I don't want this to be, I want it to be on Fridays just to get ready for the weekend, everything like that. But at least I can say today's Hump Day. So that's something I can hang my hat on. Now what we're going to be doing today, because this is a, I did mess around with the scheduling a little bit, and so just a treat for all you people that are watching, what we're going to do is we're going to have a two-parter. The first part will be the normal taking a topic and then looking at a game regarding that topic. And then the second part will actually just be me playing a game that I haven't even really taken a look at. There was a game that I saw on Steam that popped up called Cube, which is quick understanding of block extrusion. I think that's what it's called. We'll get, it actually says it on the front screen there, but haven't actually had a chance to really dig deep into it, and so I figured why not on the second part just have everybody make fun of me, try to figure out puzzles, because the thing with that game is that it's kind of like Portal, so it's a puzzle game, and you'll really get a Portal feeling from it, but it's just it's a little different. It's not dealing with portals, it's dealing with blocks, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that at the second half of the show. So first, let's go ahead and start with some indie gaming news. I had mentioned a couple, I believe it was maybe even my first episode, about the Independent Game Festival that happens at GDC every year, and I had mentioned that that they would be announcing the finalists. All the nominations were submitted, and so they were going to be submitting the finalists this week, and they did that yesterday, yeah, January 10th, yep. And so there's a long list of games that are out there, so I'm just going to quickly mention the top five for the grand prize. First off, you had a game called Dear Esther, which is a first-person source mod, but there's not any combat in it. I mean, I don't want to say there isn't any combat, but the focus is more on exploring the world that you're in. You essentially wake up alone, and that's the game. Like, you just start exploring the world. So that's ranked as a finalist for the grand prize. There's a game called Fez, which is it's another platformer with 3D aspects, almost similar to Sideways, where you're churning the world around. So there's that. There's Frozen Synapse, which is a churn-based tactical game. I believe that the churns happen at the same time, so you set up a move and then your opponent sets up a move, and then the game plays out in that fashion. And you have, so that's 3. There's Spelunky, which is just a regular platformer. But the draw with that is that all of the levels are randomly generated, so you never play the same game twice. So there's that. And then one that I've actually been paying attention to and interested to see how it turns out is a game called Johann Sebastian Joust. And that is played with the PS3 Move controller. And essentially what that is, it's kind of hard to explain. There's no graphics, there's no anything. It's literally just played with the Move controller. And what it is you and your party get together, and music plays, and you move around with the controller. But there's like a dead zone for moving the controller. And so you're not supposed to move it too quickly. You're supposed to move it to the beat of the music, essentially. And so the point of the game is to make the other people move their move joystick into that dead zone. And eventually, if they move it too much, there's a sound, and then they'll be out of the game. So those are the top 5 finalists for the grand prize at the Independent Games Festival. And so you can go over to the Independent Games Festival website, check out all the other really interesting games out there. I mean, they have categories for art, design, and things like that. So all of those nominations are out there. Go ahead, check them out. So moving on to the topic that I want to get to today, what I had mentioned last week was there was an Indie Royale bundle that had a game that was exclusive only to the Indie Royale bundle. The only way that you can get it was through this for PC anyway, was through the Indie Royale bundle. It's a game called Super Crossfire. Now the funny thing is that you can actually get this on the Xbox Live Indie Games site or collection or whatever you want to call it. It's made by a company called Raidangames, and if you're trying to find it in the Xbox Marketplace, look under Raidangames. That's all. They've got about 7 games out there. Go ahead, check them out. They are under R. It's not under Super. It's not under any of the other games that they have. I believe one's called Fireball, and there's a couple others. And the reason why I brought this up was because of the fact that there are so many games out on the Xbox Live Indie Arcade Marketplace that it sometimes is hard to become recognized. And the focus that designers, I think, should be taking now, if they are strictly just focusing on the indie arcade marketplace, they should start taking this approach of not only programming for the indie arcade, but also for being released on Steam or Desura, which actually I did find out that you can get the game on Desura for $5. Don't quote me on that. I mean, when I open it up, it says that I can gift it to people for $5. So I'm assuming that on Desura you can buy this game for $5. But essentially, this gives the developer a way to expand into different markets with their fan base. So you're not necessarily just hooked to Xbox Live, hoping that somebody stumbles upon your Xbox Live indie game. You have a whole customer base on the PC, and you have a digital distribution thing that's specific for indie stuff. So that's why I wanted to talk about that. It's just it's another alternative for any game developers that are out there to go ahead and check that out. Now let's go ahead and get into the game here, and hopefully everything comes over okay. Let me don the magic headphones. Now, the before I get into this, let me just explain exactly what's going on here. This is a Space Invaders on steroids, essentially. You do have aliens that'll be shooting at you from the bottom, but then you have the ability to warp, and then you'll switch up to a top row and attack the aliens from up there, and then you know what, you'll see. But essentially, it's just a really quick arcade game that takes the Space Invaders and just adds a little bit more to it. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Here we go. Let me make sure that the sound works. Okay, sounds like the sound is coming over. Get that out of the way. Okay, and feel free, guys in the chat, I do have the chat open and everything. If the sound on the game is too low, let me know. I can turn that up, and then we can go from there. So, essentially, you know, you got a very typical, I want to say almost if you've played Geometry Wars, it's got a Geometry Wars type feel to it. It's got the extreme, not extreme, anything, kind of techno vibe going on. You got a few chapters here. I'm not sure exactly how long each chapter is because, again, as you can see, I've only gotten to chapter 2, and even then I had to kind of cheat, and you'll end up gaining victory points for achievements that you do throughout the game. So you can collect 10,000 gems, destroy every enemy type, things like that, and these will give you victory points that you can use to either unlock things in the game or kind of give yourself a little edge. So let's just go ahead. Let's start with chapter 1, because this will be the easiest way for me to to play and talk at the same time. You can see that there's different difficulties here. Now the thing is that you have the ability to upgrade your ship every 5 levels, and when we get there, I'll explain exactly what's going on there. So let's just go ahead, get it started, and we'll go. Now this game can be played with the mouse, the keyboard, and also your gamepad if you have it hooked up. Right now, I feel most comfortable using just the keyboard, but I do know that you can use the mouse to move left and right and all that. So, we actually already start with the apparently, after you get so far into the game, you can just automatically start adding upgrades to your ship. So, as you can see, I've got 15 upgrade points, and each slot takes a certain point. So if I want to get a full shot speed, it's going to be 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Shot spread, super power. Now we'll go with shot power and number of shots, and we'll go done. So as you can see right now, it's just pretty basic. You got your aliens or your enemies kind of shooting at you. And if you notice, the way the ships are facing is exactly where they're going to shoot. So I'm pretty safe right here because all those guys are aiming at the top. So we'll just go ahead and hold control here. Now here's the thing: is I can't really get over without getting hit over here. So I hit the warp button. Oop, little UFO there. I'll hit the warp button, and now I'm up on top. And as you can see, the enemies kind of switched, but there we go. So we'll just get through that really quick. Now the thing too is while I'm talking about this, when I shot that UFO, it dropped this little power up, and now the only way you can get the power up is if you get in front of it and then warp over. And so all that did was, if you notice at the bottom, there's 2 blue boxes and then 2 purple diamonds, and the purple diamonds represent your ability to do a super shot. And so the super shot is nothing more than just a super shot, which is that. But it does cost 1 diamond to do. So, and every time a UFO comes up, if you can shoot it down, then it does give you a power up. And now I have, as you can see, shields. And also, if you can notice, every time I kill a ship, there's a tiny little diamond that pops up as I'm pointing at the screen, like you guys can see it. What that'll also do is fill up that superpower super powered shot. So eventually, if I get enough of these little orbs, I have the ability to get another super shot. So, a pretty basic game, and as I'm playing this right now, it might not look like much, but keep in mind I am only on the 4th wave of the first chapter, and this game gets pretty ridiculous fairly quickly, as the ships will, you'll get multiple directions of fire. Right now we're just looking at up and down, like either a ship will shoot up or a ship will shoot down. And you'll get things like that. So like I said, every 5 levels you get the ability to upgrade your ship a little bit more. And so since I hit the 5th wave, here we go. We'll just add some more into shot power and keep it going. Now we're getting, whoa! Oh crap! I just. So here's one of the other enemies that you'll see here. And the idea is, of course, to get behind the wave, and then they toss in yet another type of enemy. And if you notice that there's these green, almost cross things, but now there's a green box surrounding all of the other ships. Well, that means that they're shielded, and I can't kill them with regular conventional weapons. So what I have to do is either use a super shot, or I just kill the green crosses, because that's actually what is generating the shields. So I'll just flip over there really quick. Get that. Okay, we've done that. And then, again, for the people that are, really all about trying to get the high score, there's a speed bonus and also a perfect bonus. A perfect bonus means you didn't get hit that round. As you can see. So, and then something else that's interesting, if you start watching the, let me take out some of these green ships here, is that ships can actually, with the green ship, it's when an opposing ship is touching the green cross, that's the only time where it gets shields. So, again, that's another little, interesting little thing there. Whoops, and I got hit. And okay, apparently those were my 3 lives. Really quick. And yeah, like I said, the art style is definitely very close to a game like Geometry Wars. If you haven't, if you have played that game before, and as I'm seeing in the chat, it is possible that all the colors and explosions and things, it does make it kind of hard to see exactly what's happening. But I actually really enjoyed Geometry Wars, and that was part of the reason why I enjoyed it, was because of all of the I don't have the ability to do that. Because of the fact that you didn't really see where you were going a lot of time, where it was mostly you were just playing by feel. I do like that, and that's definitely something that is prevalent in this game when you get towards the later levels. Just get through a couple more levels here, just to see just how ridiculously crazy this thing can get. Because you'll end up seeing kind of boss. See, and this is what I was getting ready to say. So you have these kind of boss ships that, so in addition to the regular kind of typical enemy ships, you'll end up eventually seeing these boss ships, and they could throw out, they can throw out a bunch of shots all at once, or maybe they have 2 or 3 like streams that'll get. Okay, apparently I can't upgrade anymore for some reason. I can't. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So, yeah, and then a pretty basic, almost arcade type game. I'm kind of getting distracted, seeing all the flashing lights and everything like that. I'm getting into the game a little too much. But yeah, like I said, this game right now is available on Xbox Live Arcade. It does have leaderboards, and we'll just go ahead and quit out of that real quick. Oh, I thought it had leaderboards. My mistake. Yep, that was totally my mistake. I believe I thought that it had leaderboards. Apparently it doesn't. So that was my bad. It might have the leaderboards on the Xbox Live Arcade version. But either way, it's something that's really nice. I mean, it's not a game that you're going to really, it's not groundbreaking in any real way. It's just a nice little arcade game, nice little thing. And like I said, it's interesting to see a lot more of the indie studios kind of expanding their horizons, and not just concentrating only on, not concentrating solely on being on the Xbox Live Arcade or indie game marketplace and expanding out into the PC market. Because again, there are PC gamers that don't have consoles. There are console gamers that don't have PCs, and so you want to kind of cover all your bases. And I understand that it might be difficult to kind of make that transition, make that port. I know that with the guys with Team Meat that did Super Meat Boy, they had some issues just going through Microsoft's certification process to even get on the Xbox Live Arcade, and then to have to port it over. And then when they tried to port it over to PC, they had a very tight schedule for that as well. But again, that's a perfect example. It had a lot of fan base on the Xbox Live Arcade. They went ahead and expanded to the PC, and then I believe the number was they have now sold over 1 million copies of Super Meat Boy between Xbox Live Arcade and the Humble bundles, and even just being on Steam. And so that it's definitely a great way if it's really easy to port it over from Xbox Live to PC, or even PC to Xbox Live if you're making PC an indie PC game, to port it over into Xbox Live and try to get more people going that way. I do think, though, personally, that the Xbox Live indie game market is a little bit oversaturated right now. I mean, there are games like Barf and Beer I saw when I was kind of strolling through the what things that are there. There's a game called Flirt. I mean, games that I don't want to say are bad, because I don't like bad talking. I don't really know how to develop a game, so for those guys that are even making games and putting them out there, kudos to them. But it's when you try to make a game like Super Crossfire and try to get that noticed on the Xbox Live indie game marketplace, it's a little bit hard when you do have games that might not be taking it too seriously. They might just be throwing stuff on there to be throwing stuff on there. So, like I said, Super Crossfire on Desura right now for $5. They also made that for the iOS and iPad stuff. I'm not sure exactly how much it is on there, but if you do have an iOS device, you can check it out there. And again, these guys are on Xbox Live Arcade. They on their website they did say that they were going to have an announcement tomorrow. I don't know what that could be, because I mean they just recently had this Indie Royale release with Super Crossfire, so I'm not sure what the next step would be for them. So go ahead and keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for that. And so that's pretty much all I've got for the topic portion. What's going to happen now is I'm going to play some music, a little transition music. We're going to take a quick break. The stream will go down for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then we'll be back while I get all the stuff set up for Cube. So with that, let me get the music going here. Okay, and now for some reason the music isn't playing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go have a splash screen and say stay tuned. And we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes with Cube. So we'll see you in a little bit.